Hey y'all, welcome to Peak Shade. It's Mary Payne here. It's Tuesday, so we're talking about 90 days before the 90 days. The name of this episode is Season 6, Episode 9, The Big Chill. And I've got Kimberly from A Date with Dateline here to discuss it with me. Kimberly, did you see this movie, The Big Chill?
No.
Yes. You
Yes,
didn't?
probably. No.
Kimberly, that's a really great movie.
I can't say if I've seen it or if Katie's just said she liked it.
Okay,
And
well, those are
maybe
two very
yeah,
different
I know.
things.
I don't know. What year did it come out?
Oh my God, the 80s for sure.
Yeah, I probably wasn't allowed to. Is it like rated R?
Oh, for sure, rated R. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, then I need to. Oh, look, I just looked it up and there's a yogurt shop called The Big Chill
Oh,
with
okay. Well, that's not
two
it.
two G's for some reason.
Trademark infringement. That's why.
Yeah,
The Big Chill. Or maybe Jason Biggs owns it.
that would be amazing. 1983 it came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it what you'd consider a rom-com? It's more like a
Hmm.
dramedy, right?
I would consider it a dark comedy. Yeah, it's a drama. It's all these friends are gathering around
Like a
and they've known each other
reunion
from college,
after
like a
someone
reunion.
died?
Someone died. The person that died is
Yeah, I
Kevin
know the
Costner.
plot. Oh,
Kevin
I didn't
Costner
know
is the
that.
one who died, but he's not in the movie at all. You only see like his hands in the casket, but he's not there. Yeah. He plays the dead guy. He's not in it. It's see Kevin Kline, Glenn Close. I'm blanking on who else is in it, but it's Mary Kay Place. It's really
Well,
a
it's a
great
really good
movie.
cast.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, um, somebody. Wait,
Who's in it? The Big Chill, everybody. Go watch it.
Tom Berenger?
Uh-huh. Yes. This is
Jeff
not.
Goldblum,
Yep.
William
He's
Hurt,
real nerdy.
Meg
Yeah, William
Tilly,
Hurt.
Jo Beth
Oh,
Williams.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
These were the it people in the 80s.
Yeah, the whole William Hurt of it all. Oh, he was hot in this movie. So hot.
Oh,
Super hot. And Meg Tilly is like a dumb girlfriend that comes along.
yeah, that's what she plays best.
Yeah, and she's walking around like with her no bra on, boobs jiggling a lot, and everybody kind of hates her. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. You should definitely. Did I
You've
make
sold
Mary Kay
me.
play us? Mary Kay Place is not in it?
No, she's in it.
She's in it. Okay, just checking. Yeah. Go see it in the theater. Just kidding. Rent it on your video on demand. Find it on Netflix. The
I
Big
will.
Chill.
You've sold me.
It's really good. Um, this week we had a long episode as always, and a lot happened. It was emotionally wrought. Started off with the bang. So the way we started the episode is the way we're going to start this recap, which is full of sadness with David and Sheila. We're going to get it out of the way at the beginning.
The one time we want Matt Sharp to have faked us out with a preview.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like, for sure it's like a neighbor.
Yeah, it has to. I thought it was like a bug, like literally, like something I wouldn't even care about. If step, I do care about bugs. Do sometimes cry if they die,
Mm,
and I rescue them and take them outside. But
not me.
no, I understand. Not everyone does that. And I do not do it with spiders. Spiders must die. So I thought it was like a spider, something I would care very little about. And they were just giving us a fake out. No. So they all went to sleep in the house, in Sheila's house the night
Mhm.
before. And
Yeah.
then when they wake up, okay, so and we're getting all this from the poor translator who is still on duty, is just standing there. We've all been in that position though, like where you like somewhat there's a tragedy, but you're not close enough to like insert yourself, but it's
Yeah.
rude to leave. So you don't know
Yes.
what to do.
Yeah. Well, they put up a screen that said, "In the night, the production got a call that something had happened at the
Something
house."
had happened.
Yeah.
And so Sheila's sobbing and David is comforting her and the translator is helping explain. It was 5 a.m. and Sheila's mom, who we met very briefly yesterday, last week, the day before. It was last week in
Mhm.
the episode yesterday. Um, and she seemed to be hard of hearing, and Sheila was screaming, "This is David."
Yeah.
And she seemed very nice. We saw her for like 2 seconds. She got up to go to the bathroom or something in the middle of the night, or like 5 a.m., early morning. She fell on those stairs, which I said last week, someone's gonna die on those stairs, and I thought it was gonna be
Mhm.
David.
Mhm.
I I feel horrible. They weren't nailed properly. Also, it's all rotted wood,
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
tornado or hurricane it's like
Typhoon.
typhoon, sorry. It's
Yeah.
just it's not structurally sound, and she fell, and they found her in the morning. Now,
It's
A,
terrible.
where was Michael Peterson and the owl? B, this is so sad. C, I almost think it's fate, like they're meant to be that David was there. Like, what are the
Yes.
odds that he came the night before, got to meet the mom and she maybe she like approved of him, like this is a good
Yeah.
man for my daughter, and then he was there to help comfort her. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's almost like fate or something. It's horrible, and
It's
it's
horrible.
so sad, but like so strange that he was there.
I know. Does anybody suspect him? No.
I mean, I didn't wanna say that, but I'd
Oh,
rather accuse
sorry.
Michael Peterson and the owl.
Right.
No, I think if anything, I don't think David's gonna kill anybody. I think if anything, David is kind of like a lovable oaf who, like, moved the ladder by accident, and then, like, she fell,
Oh,
and it was, like,
yeah.
unintentionally his fault, and he will never realize his mistake or will never admit it,
Well,
because
it was
then she won't
wild
marry.
because the translator is there, standing there, and the coffin is there, and they're saying, "What happened? What happened?" And then, Sheila tells the whole story that there was a rotten piece of wood and that she fell and that we think she must have, and so they wake up in the morning and there's mom dead on the floor.
Dead on the floor. How traumatic.
Oh my god.
Are they paying the translator, or is she giving them these hours for free?
I think she's with production.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I
Oh
would
my
give it
god.
to them for free. I would it's
She should donate her time at this
She
point,
should
but
donate her time. And so it's horrible. David doesn't know what to do because he just met the mom, but he wants to be there for Sheila. He doesn't no one trains you for this sort of situation, how to help
no.
someone deal with grief. And they just met, but it's kind of his fiance. So there's
Yeah.
that strange dynamic. He
And it's a
just met this
double
woman.
language barrier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I think he's doing a really good job. He's just, like, saying, "I'm so sorry," and he's comforting her as she
Yeah.
cries, and all the villagers are carrying the coffin to the chapel, and their custom is to stay with the body for 24 hours or it's bad luck. So she's
Mhm.
gonna stay there for 24 hours. It's hard watching her sob this much. It feels invasive. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
she said
agree.
it was okay for them to keep filming, but was she in her right state of mind? It feels like Amanda, like, we shouldn't be watching this. She
I
is
agree.
It's too soon.
Yeah, I
And the
think
son is there,
yeah.
her kid.
Do you think a better way to handle it would have been, like, just the black screen of death, in this
Yeah,
case, literally the black screen of death, where they just told what happened, and then we see the aftermath of
yeah,
maybe the funeral or whatever, maybe not this, like, raw 24 hours after the body situation.
I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, that's what I would have done, but hopefully
Mm,
she doesn't feel exploited or anything. It's just so
yeah.
raw. It's so raw, and it was such a shock. So David is going to the hotel to let her grieve with the family, and she says it's fine. She wants him to get some rest, and she wants to be alone. I'm sure he offered to stay. We don't see it, but I feel like he offered to stay.
Of course, I think yeah. Yeah.
And she doesn't seem to be mad that he's going to the hotel. She says he's respecting that I need to be alone.
Mhm, yeah. It
This
seems
is a
that
great He's a genuinely good guy. I think this is like, imagine if this situation happened and Christian was the dude on call.
Yeah, yeah. Christian on call. Yeah, not good.
That I would be horrible. Thank God it's David.
Yeah.
So, also we do get they did take time to make a new hero shot, which is a grieving hero shot.
Oh, I did not notice this.
it's sadness and panged with, like, tears, and that felt
Oh,
also exploitative. Like, did you
yes.
make them pose for a new hero shot as she's grieving?
Okay, let's keep it moving. This
So
is upsetting.
so then it's the day of the funeral, and everyone walks behind the car in a procession, and then they do that thing that they haven't done for a long time where David's we see from David's perspective where the sound goes out and
Yeah,
to see what he's hearing, and I felt like it was totally unnecessary, and I didn't it real I we didn't need it. I
they
don't
do. I think they do it at least once an episode where they pull
I
the
thought it
sound.
had been, like, at least an episode where we didn't see it, but I could be wrong.
They have been adding in his sound when he is sign language doing sign
Yes,
language, and he makes noises while he's
yes,
doing sign language, and they've
yes.
been adding that in now. We didn't have it in the beginning. It was very silent,
Oh, that's interesting.
and now we can hear him making noises when he's doing sign
Yeah,
language
yeah.
sounds. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
So, he is a little confused by the style of funeral, but he's not
Hmm.
being rude about it or anything. It's like they wanna catch someone being a rude American,
Of
but they're
course.
not getting David. He's not gonna
Nope.
pull an Angela or anything.
No, he's
So
there. He's got the umbrella. He's
yeah.
protecting her from the sun. Yeah, it's fine.
So Sheila says she will miss her mom so much and having someone to go to her problems with and all of that. It's just so sad.
It
And
really is.
they put the coffin in like a mausoleum type thing and then everyone throws flowers into it. And she's worried. She says that she fell short of her mom's expectations. And that got me. I was like, "Don't you make me cry, Matt Sharp. I don't approve of that." No.
Oh.
So sad. And then after she stayed with her mom's body, she's gonna go stay with David at the hotel, and her son will stay with the family. I hope the dad is not being left alone in the house.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the dad because there's
We
no
have
mention of him.
no
She said
mention of the
she'll
dad.
Yeah, she said, like, she'll stay with the body for X amount of time, and then her dad will come and do it at night or whatever.
Yeah,
So maybe he's doing the overnight, and
yeah,
there'll be nobody in the house. That's why the son's going to a friend's house. Yeah.
that makes sense. David feels out of place. He wants to help, but he doesn't know how. And she's worried she might not be able to give him the attention and love that he might need. This whole trip was for their like to see if they're truly soulmates. And
Yeah.
now it's distracted by this big thing. But he doesn't seem to mind.
No, he's being very sweet and understanding.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like too good for this show. Like his behavior is too good for this show.
Uh, oh my gosh. Well, this was heartbreaking. So I was like, we have to start with it and get it out of the way, you know?
At least they didn't I mean, they did use it as a storyline and they used it as a cliffhanger, but at least they
Yeah.
gave it to us right away. And so they didn't make
Yeah.
us wait for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah. The cliffhanger part was not great.
No.
I keep looking above your head because you've got like the little thing hanging that says Dateline, and there's a tennis shoe, and then there's a shield, and then it says something. Dennis is enough. That's what
Tennis
it
is enough.
says.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
listener made that for us.
Okay. All right. Because I kept looking at it and I was like, I know if I lean in, you're going to be like, what's wrong with you?
I did feel like you were distracted.
I was really trying to read it above your head. Now I know. Now I don't have to stare at it anymore. All right. Well, let's move on to Jasmine and Gino. They're going to a mall and they head to a jewelry store. They're picking out a gift for her sister slash daughter, Liz, who's
Yeah,
turning 20.
sister in
Remember,
quotes.
sister Liz, who's turning 20. So she says Liz deserves a nice gift because she has been living with them for 2 weeks and had to hear all the crap they've been going through. So
The
she
one
then,
night he got it in, the butt plugs, all
the screaming and crying.
the fights about the potato peeler or whatever.
Yep, yep, yep.
That poor girl.
She had to watch Jasmine apply suntan lotion to him like he was a
Oh,
toddler. Yeah.
mhm. His upper thigh area.
Oh God. So they're looking at a necklace for Liz, and she asked the lady, "Do you have rings, engagement rings?" And the lady says, "Yeah." And he says, "You already have a ring." And she goes, "I lost it." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "I don't think she lost it." And the talking head for the producer, she goes, "I did. I accidentally lost it." Well, isn't that the definition of lost? It's accidentally.
I think lost is in quotes, like sister is in quotes.
Oh, okay, alright. Well, she accidentally lost it, and the producer said, "Did you like the ring?" And he said, "Well, that's a good question. Did you like the ring?" And she says, "Well, it's not something I would buy for myself or for anyone else."
Except my worst enemy.
He looks over at her and, she says, "And even before I lost the ring, accidentally lost it, I wouldn't wear it all the time. Sometimes I would wear my other ring from my other time engaged. Anyway, I had another ring I would wear." And he goes, "What?" And he said, "That's terrible." He said, "Would you like me wearing a necklace that my ex gave me? How would you feel if I did that?" And then she goes, "What? What necklace?" He goes, "But I'm saying, how would you feel about that? What would you feel?" And she goes, "What necklace? Do you have a necklace? Did she give you a necklace? Do you have a necklace? Where is the necklace? Let me see this necklace." And she says, he says, "No, I told you when you get to the States, we're going to get a new ring, but we got to get through the visa process and get you to the States." And she goes, "Well, you were being cheap about replacing it. So I found a solution. Stop comparing everything."
Get the therapist on the line and tell her that Jasmine is wearing her ex-husband's ring.
Uh-huh. And all she could focus on, "What necklace? You have a necklace? She gave you a necklace? Where's the necklace? What
Oh my
necklace?"
god, she won't be happy until this other woman is dead.
Dead, dead. So he says, "I told you I'm going to buy the ring, later, not now." And she says, "Why are we still waiting for the visa? It's been 12 months." He says, "Immigration says 80% of cases are cleared in 13 months, and we're not at 13 months yet." And she goes, "You need to get a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer." He says, "No, we don't need to get one yet. We haven't even waited like the minimum amount of time. We don't need a lawyer yet." And she says, "We've waited long enough." And he says, "Okay, if you want to get a lawyer, then you pay for it." She goes, "Ah, I knew it was about money." And he says, "Of course it is. I'm not just going to waste money. Do you want to waste money?" And she goes, "So I am a waste of money." It's like, oh my God. Everything with him, it just goes in a circle.
Ah,
He says, "I brought my ex wife over from Brazil on a K-1 visa, and it was fine. I knew how to handle the paperwork. I did it. I know what I'm doing." And
but
I also
maybe
think,
they won't like it being done a second time.
right, right. Maybe they've watched the
Maybe
show. Yeah.
exactly.
But he says, "I think Jasmine is trying to manipulate me into buying me a ring by bringing up the lawyer. Like, okay, I don't want to pay for the lawyer, but I will pay for the ring," which is a Jasmine move for
Yeah,
sure.
oh yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
So in the store, she says, "You need to spend money on a lawyer to help with the process." And he says, "Don't tell me what to do. I'm the one that did the paperwork. You're clueless." She's like, "Oh, okay. 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 Why you have to be a jerk? You're such a jerk. You're such a jerk." And he says, "You have an attitude and you need to change it or we're going to have a big problem." She's, "Oh, gee." So she cries and he walks out. And she looks at the lady behind the counter and goes, "I'm sick and tired of that jerk. He's a jerk." Yeah.
That poor lady has had to see so many fights over rings.
So many fights. When they say, can I look at the engagement ring?" She's like, "Uh-oh. All right."
I'm earning my commission today.
Yeah.
Also, she looks so different in
Yep.
her new interviews. Like,
Yep.
she looks like a
Yes.
more voluptuous Eva Longoria. Like, her face is completely different now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know she had blepharoplasty, whatever. It's when you get the skin, lifted on your eyelid. I know she did
Oh.
that. I know she did that. She talked about it on her, and she definitely, very obviously had severe lip injections. I think
Mhm.
she's lightened her hair. So she lightened her hair, and then she's a little more tan. So she does have a totally different look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're at home. And I guess they worked it out. I don't know, because now they're at home getting ready to take Liz out for dinner. So Jasmine gives Liz the necklace and they leave the house. And once again, Coco, they say, "Coco, take care of the house." And they leave poor Coco. Poor
What do they
Coco.
expect Coco to do?
I don't know.
Sweep?
Run the dishwasher, Coco. Earn your keep. Be here
That
for
dog
Coco.
is cute. That dog could do no wrong in my eyes.
Coco has seen some shit.
Yeah.
So,
That poor dog has seen more than Liz, the sister, has.
so his talking head, Gino says, "I've been reflecting on today, and I reacted to her anger with anger of my own." And that's not what, the therapist taught us. So the fighting should not affect Liz's birthday, so we're gonna go out and have a great time with my soon-to-be stepdaughter slash sister-in-law.
Who doesn't
So
appear to speak English.
no, not much.
So, really has no idea what Gino is even saying to her most of the time.
Yeah, remember Jasmine is a was Jasmine the English teacher or was that, the other girl that in Brazil that was with that guy? Hmm. One of them was an English teacher and one of them is like an American lit teacher. I feel like
Oh,
Jasmine is like the American literature teacher.
that's possible. I know
Yeah.
she's a teacher, but I did not know what subject.
Yeah, I think the Brazilian girl teaches English to Spanish speaking students,
Okay.
language. Neither here nor there. So,
And Danielle is the teacher, the one from New York.
she's a yoga teacher.
No, she was a teacher too.
Oh, she
Remember
taught
she
American
gave up
history.
her pension.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, she's been real problematic this week on the old Instagram.
Yep.
She said to let everybody know that she is every single nationality and ethnicity all rolled into one except Hispanic. Just like that.
Okay.
So she's Ugandan and she's Swedish
Okay.
and she's Portuguese
And we're all jealous of her.
and she's Russian.
Right.
She's every nationality mixed together except Hispanic. Okay, she's really something.
I kind of
So,
want to hate follow her now.
oh, you should.
Yeah.
You should. So they get on this four-person bike thing. It looks dangerous. It looks dangerous, but they seem to be having a great time.
It looked fun. I would go on it even with like Christian, someone I don't like, just because it looks fun by the
I would
water.
never go on that unless it was on a just an open sidewalk. But they are going across the road. It looks dangerous.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I
And they are
mean,
just
especially I thought she might just opportunely push him out right in front of a oncoming car.
she loves him. She's got to get to the States.
Yeah, you're right.
So it looks dangerous. They're laughing. And Jasmine says, let me know, Gino, if you get tired and I'll help you with the pedaling. And he says, what do you think? We think I'm like some old prune? And she says, yeah, you never have the conditions for sex. So how could you be riding the bike? You're not in the good physical condition. He's like, what? I'm always in the condition. What are you talking about? You always orgasm. And she goes, no, Gino, for the record, I have never had orgasm with you. And he's like, that's not true. And she goes, yes, Gino, I fake it. And they just laugh and laugh. He's like, what? And then she goes, just kidding, Gino, just kidding. And they just laugh and laugh at this hilarious joke,
Liz
talking about their sex life.
has never been so glad to not speak English. Um, at least
Liz
I
is
was
like, stop.
praying. I was praying Liz doesn't speak English.
Well, she tells them to stop talking about it.
So
And
she
Jasmine,
understands some words.
yeah, she understands some. And Jasmine says, Liz is uncomfortable and wants us to stop talking about this.
No,
They
we are
laugh.
uncomfortable.
No,
All of us are uncomfortable.
next week's just going to get worse. And they just laugh and laugh.
But
Did you?
they are being like lighthearted.
Yes. And thank God. Thank
But
God.
it always has that undercurrent of violence.
It's always the undercurrent of you can't fuck correctly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Always. Yes.
Mhm.
Now, they park the cart and they're going to go to get ice cream. And did you notice that he is in a purple shirt and a purple hat? I hadn't noticed it until the ice cream scene. His shirt and his hat match each other. They're purple.
I didn't see him packing a purple hat. I
I
wonder if
don't
he
know.
bought it there. How many
I don't
hats
know.
did he bring?
I, he's
This
got the
is his
sleeping hat.
Barney look.
Yeah, purple. So they go to get ice cream. And did you think it was odd when they walked to get ice cream that he was holding hands with Liz and
Yes,
Liz
I
was
did.
holding hands with Jasmine?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
found that troubling.
There was a couple who and they I think it was on UK, and she went to a Middle Eastern country to meet her
Mhm.
kind of younger guy who was really into taking selfies of himself. And she took her daughter who was like 19,
Yeah.
and the daughter at the airport like ran and jumped up on him and like put her legs
Yes.
around him like it was her
Yes.
dad, but like
Uh-huh.
I think they had never met, and it
Yeah.
was just made me so uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. That was last season. So
This
now they're
wasn't
going.
as uncomfortable. Like I don't think Gino is creepy for sure, but I don't
Yeah,
think he is like that kind of creepy.
I don't think he's into Liz.
No.
No. But him holding her hand does continue on with our suspicion that it is, in fact, a daughter and not a sister.
Yep, mommy and daddy are gonna swing you
Yeah.
higher, higher.
Ah, ah. So he says, before we get the ice cream, I have something for you. And he pulls out his hand and he was like something little bitty and he struggles with the box and it's a ring. And he says, this is a ring for you. It's a promise ring that I'm going to try harder and not argue with you and try to give you more meat. Okay, Gino, you
In
had
front
me
of Liz again,
again in front of Liz. But he
on
said
her
that
birthday, and you know I don't feel like birthdays are national holidays, and I get mad when anyone else throws a fit about something being ruined for their birthday, but Liz has every right to feel like her birthday was ruined because the
yeah,
word meat was uttered.
yeah, meat. And she was like, "Oh, Gino, I love it." And then they make out while Liz watches. And then he says that there was like a little, like a street fair or something, and he saw a vendor and he saw a ring and it caught his eye. So he snuck off and got it. And she goes, I thought he went to pee. But anyway, after this very sweet moment that she said it was very special, then they totally berate him and laugh at him and make fun of him while he attempts to speak Spanish to order ice cream. And then she looks at Liz and says, this is the first time in 2.5 years he's ever tried to speak Spanish. So what she does is make fun of him for it.
Yeah, that's
Very,
a good way to encourage him.
that's a good way to encourage it.
Yeah.
So let us talk next about Riley and Violet. Not much happens with them, but go ahead.
No, thank God. So he's at the hotel. He thought they would have this nice night together at the restaurant, and it turned into fireworks. What,
Hmm.
Riley? What did you think was going to happen when you put Tiffany on the phone?
Yeah,
You thought
agreed.
it was going to continue to be a good night? Okay. So he is very upset at himself for getting so upset that he had this outburst in a restaurant in a foreign country. He's embarrassed and mad at his own behavior. And
Good.
but he also feels like she won't answer my questions. I can't deal with her shadiness. I blocked her. So, like
Immature.
mature people in their late 40s do.
Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, Sheila is shopping with her older daughter and she is complaining about how they forced her to answer questions and she didn't like answer questions. She's complaining. She's
What do you
mad that
think? What do you think the daughter? Her facial expression was she was looking off to the side. She was like, "I don't want to hear any of this. I
yeah.
don't want to be here. I thought I was coming to get a dress. It's the only reason I came." She was so
Bait
uncomfortable. The
and
daughter.
switch. You promised
Yes.
me a dress, and now you're complaining about your latest boyfriend and how everything is their fault and nothing's your fault. Okay,
Yeah.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she seems wise and she's like on to her mom that her mom never takes accountability for anything and won't answer questions. So
She did
I
not want to be there.
she did not want to
Mm-mm.
be there.
Mm-mm.
So she is Violet's mad that Riley didn't stand up for her. That's her number one thing. She wants a man to protect her because in her first marriage, her ex-husband didn't stand up for her when she had just given birth to a girl in the hospital and his mom was complaining that she gave birth to a girl and not a boy.
And
And
she said
her
she had no use for
husband
girls. And
and
did,
her
what are you going to
husband
have?
just
Yeah.
sat there and did not
Yeah.
say anything,
Yeah.
like, "Shut the F up, mom. She just pushed a lady out of her vagina.
Yeah.
Give her a break."
Yeah.
So,
That's bad.
horrible mother-in-law,
Horrible.
horrible husband, bad.
Yes.
So that's why she won't forgive Riley for not protecting her. And she sent him a nasty message and then she blocked him. And so
Hmm.
he reads the text the next day and it says, "You were supposed to protect me. You trample and insult me. You don't deserve to be a man. He has no right to question me like an interrogation cop. If you come to Vietnam to meet my family, then my family is allowed to ask you questions. If I come to your country, then you are allowed to ask me questions. You have
New
an
rule.
uneducated, unscrupulous attitude. You should go away." So I love what she's saying here, but that is ridiculous. He's not allowed to ask like, "Are you cheating on me?" until she comes to America.
By then it'll be too late.
They will
Yeah.
already be engaged. What is she
Yeah.
not allowed to ask? He's not allowed to ask until the 90 days are up and they are actually married? Is that the
I
rule?
guess. Yeah.
Because you can only ask your wife those questions. She had said you can only ask your husband and wife those kind of questions.
Yeah. She has said that.
That's a bait and switch. You
Yes.
fully get engaged to someone and you are never allowed to ask if they're cheating on you until you're
Mhm.
actually married.
She doesn't have to tell the truth, by the way. I mean,
She could answer the question and just lie,
yeah.
but she doesn't even want to answer the question. She's
No.
so resentful at having to answer any question.
Yes.
So the daughter very wisely says, "You are adults,
Mhm.
supposedly. You are acting like this is a game. You should just talk to each other like the adults that you're supposed to be."
Yeah. Not like
And
the 15-year-olds at my school where we block each
exactly,
other on Snapchat. Yeah.
exactly. And Violet says, "It's not my fault. He needs to contact me first." Cut to Riley in the hotel saying, "I would talk to her, but I won't reach out to her. She has to make the effort to meet with me and she needs to apologize." Cut back to Violet. She's saying the same thing. "He needs to apologize to me and then I'll talk to him." And the daughter is just looking at her like, "Why am I the adult in this relationship?"
Is that hot pink dress in size small ready for
Exactly.
me in the room yet? Because yeah.
And then they have a new hero shot where he's staring at the camera like he's so mad, and she's looking off in the distance like she won't even look at the camera. She's glaring at something off. Like the cameraman was like, "Violet, can you look at the camera? How dare you ask me a question? You're not allowed to ask me a question until we're married, and then I'll answer and I won't look at the camera." So, Riley in a very cute scene. This scene was adorable. I could have done without the whole Violet Riley relationship and just seen Riley sightseeing.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
he decides, "I'm going to make the best of my trip to Vietnam. I'm ordering a tour guide to take me around on the back of his motorcycle." It's so funny. Riley is twice his size,
Yeah.
this little tour guide, and he's, like, bear hugging him from behind on his motorcycle, and he's so, like, excited about all the sights and the lights, and he's filming himself with his, phone, and it's a great idea for a tour. I hope this tour guide gets a lot of work after this because it looks like he does a great job, and then he
Yeah,
goes
he was
above
cute
and
too.
beyond.
Yeah,
He's gonna get the ladies finding him
yeah.
on social media.
He's cute.
So Riley's starting to feel bad about his reaction. And he says, "I've been cheated on and I have trust issues. I know I'm too sensitive." So he asked the tour guide to hang out with him at the cigar club
Yeah,
and like, "Will you be my friend? But
yeah,
also, will you give me advice?" Basically, I
yeah.
need Vietnam dude's advice. And so they go, and he says, "I came for this girl. She's beautiful, but she's crazy." And he explains what happened with Tiffany. And the tour guide has an interesting perspective. He says, "You think of this woman, Tiffany, as your sister," which who knew that Tiffany being a real sister or like a adopted sister or like a would be a whole plot line, and we were fighting over it like it was not important at all, and it turned out to be very important.
It's important. She's not a blood sister. He just
He
considers her a
just
sister.
considers her a sister, which to me is enough, but there it's
Yeah,
not enough.
yeah.
So they say, "You think she's your sister, but this it you're here family is like blood family, and so a blood family has the right to ask questions, and a
Mhm.
friend that you think of as a sister doesn't really have the right, so her asking would have been offensive." And so Riley's like, "Oh, I didn't understand. That's like my dad could ask those kind of questions, but
Uh-huh.
Tiffany can't." And the tour guide says, "You were angry and that makes you sad, and I can sense your sadness." He's like a tour guide and a therapist.
He's like
And
Mark L. Wahlberg of Vietnam.
he it like I know the women are just finding this guy Tommy. His name is Tommy, the tour guide.
And he has a top knot.
He's great.
Yeah, cute.
I love him. So he's gonna be on the next season, spin-off, Tommy
Yeah, yeah.
Finding Love. So Riley says, "I blocked Violet," and the tour guide says, "She should have been blocking you," which she also did. They did
Right.
block each other.
It's so
And
funny when they're both like, the other one has to reach out to me, but
yeah,
how? Because
they're
everybody's
blocked.
blocked.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So Riley says, "Even though he says, even when I think I'm right, I'm wrong." So he realizes, like, I totally messed this up. And the tour guide says, you should unblock her, try to contact her, and apologize. And
Yeah.
Riley says, you're right. You're totally right. I'm going to try. And he says, I'm realizing that she may be very mysterious and not that open about her past, but I've been going about this all in the wrong way. And I need to change my approach and I need to accept my part in what happened. Very mature. And
Mhm.
I want to try to make it work, but even if it doesn't work out, you found a new great best friend in Tommy the tour guide.
That's
So
right.
let's get them on Pillow Talk.
Riley and Tommy
Mhm.
together. Yeah.
Mhm. I love it.
S
So that's what's going on with them.
Speaking of pillow talk, I'm going to have a chat and interview with, Emily and Kobe this week. Kobe! Oh my god, Kobe!
Are you
Yeah,
kidding? I love
yeah.
them on Pillow Talk.
I love them on Pillow Talk, and I reached out and I was like, "Can I possibly get an interview with them?" I love them on Pillow Talk. It's so interesting how people didn't like them on their season, they love them so much now.
They and David and Annie have these, like, crazy redemption arcs where their season was terrible and they are so
Yeah.
likable on Pillow Talk. She made me laugh so hard in one of these recent episodes. She was mocking Mary and Brandon, and
Uh-huh.
so she's, like, had, him go to the bathroom. She's like, "Oh, you're going to brush your teeth? Are there other females in there? Who else is in there? Is there someone in the shower?" She was, like, FaceTiming him. "Don't put down your phone. I wanna see who else you're talking to." It was so funny.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed them on Pillow
they
Talk,
make me laugh.
thoroughly.
I really
Yeah.
do enjoy them.
So I'm gonna talk to them later this week, and I think probably that'll be out next week. I'm not sure when it's gonna go out.
And do they
Anyway,
still live at her parents' house?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Amazing. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
All right, let's move on to Christian and Cleo. So they
Let's
are
say
going
Cleo and Christian. I think her name should go first
okay,
because
Cleo and
he
Christian.
is a dirtbag.
Well, it was high highs and low lows with him this week because he did have some redeeming qualities this week, but in the end, not so much. So they're going to Portobello Market, which is in my mind, I'm like, take note when I go to London. Do I go to
Mhm.
Portobello Market? Yep. So she says, last night they went out. And when they got home, she passed out and there was no intimacy. So I guess they were drinking more than we realized,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think she
And
also passed out emotionally. She was just done.
exhausted. Yeah. Yeah. So she hopes they can leave last night behind and have a cute, fun morning, going to the market. And the whole time they're talking, he's like, right on, right on. She's like, yeah, we should go to the store. He's like, yeah, right on. Yeah. Relax with the right on.
And
Okay.
then when they go to the fish and chips place, the guy brings food and he goes, "Thank you, brother."
Right on,
R
bro.
Shut up.
Ugh. So she finds this crystal bracelet that she likes and she's drawn to it and he buys it for her. She's like, you don't have to buy it. He goes, yeah, I'm going to buy it for you. You can, when you see it, like it'll bring back our memories. And they
Because
kiss
I'm never gonna see you again. Is that
because
what
that's it.
it is?
This is all you're getting. This is one bracelet. So they find this fish and chips shop. He gets ribs and she gets cod. I am heartened to see that at a fish and chip shop, ribs are offered because the boys in my family really do like ribs and
Mm.
that will be good for them.
Yeah.
I could
I
just I
s
could
I
just eat chips.
stupidly thought they only had fish and chips. I'm glad they have
Well, me
other
too.
options. Yeah.
Uh, Fish and chips, and then we had the UK father son Michael and Kennedy. They went to a fish and chip shop, and they didn't both get fish and chips. One of them
Oh.
got something else, which makes me feel happy that I won't have to eat any fish while I'm in
Hmm.
London because I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
Don't like fish at all of any kind. Never.
Good to
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Don't
I
don't
gotta
don't send me.
cancel that fish of the month
Don't
gift
send
I
me
just
fish of
ordered.
the month.
August is coming your way.
Oh my god. So they're joking about the ribs and the cod. They're like, "This is really good, actually. It's really good hangover food." And she says, well, when you go on a first date with a girl, it seems regarding the night before, it seems you would make it about the two of you and not about the larger group of girls." And he goes, "I didn't do that." And she goes, "You did. You didn't like say my name. You didn't introduce me. You were talking to these other people, and we were there to have a connection. And you weren't doing that. You were trying to talk to these other girls." And she goes, like, "I wouldn't go on a first date with you and then sit with a bunch of dudes and start talking to them and not include you when the point of the date is to get to know you." So he hears it. He does. He takes the note. He says, "I get it. You're right. I did do that. I get it. You're right." And she says, "The place was tiny and claustrophobic. It was really bad for me." And he says, "Well, I worry. I don't want this to put a damper on the trip. And I don't want you to be worrying that I'm going to act like this. Like, I'm hearing what you're saying." And he says, "The trip is not about me seeing the sights of London. The trip is to spend time with you. It's a trip about us, not just about me." And she says, "Okay." And he goes, I'm just not here to see London with you as my arm candy. And you should definitely be able to tell me if you're not comfortable." So I think that that was a mature response from him.
Yes,
Yeah. He
but now
listened,
we'll see.
but we'll see. So, talking head, she says, "I always feel like I'm a burden to people, especially in relationships. And I like him a lot, but I do worry maybe this is too much for him." But then he tells her, he goes like, "Hey, I learned something. It's trial and error. Like, we're just getting to know each other." And he just seems completely normal in this moment. So now they're back at her flat. They're going to have wine. He's opening up the wine. And he says, "Let's get some candles
See,
out."
that's
Yeah.
so interesting because I read it differently than you. When
Okay.
he
What?
because at the end of that night, she's like he's kinda like, this was fun. This was nice."
Hmm.
But kind of like, "Where's the bar? Like, can we
Right.
go get wasted now?" This was
Right.
nice.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's a different kind of fun.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not
So
the
they
kind
go
of
back.
fun he's used to.
No, he likes to bar hop. So
Did
they're
you
back at the.
finally see their hero shot, though? Where
And what?
he's
Tell me.
holding her stomach like she's pregnant. I think
No, I
he
didn't
actually
notice it.
thinks she can have babies because of what happens later, too.
Oh my gosh. So back at the flat, they're getting the wine out and they're lighting candles. And he goes, "Oh, this part in the night was normally you put on your sexy sex music." And she laughs. She goes, "Sexy sex music." And he says, "Yeah, it's like, he goes, I don't have one. I don't have any baby making playlist." And she goes, "Baby making playlist?" He goes, "Yeah, like a bow chicka bow." She goes, "I don't think that'll work with me." And they sort of laugh. And he kind of
He
looks
doesn't
at
get
her
it.
and
He
he
does
goes, "Oh, oh," he doesn't get it.
No, he's like, "Good to know." He thinks she's saying, "That sort of music doesn't do it for me or put me in the romantic mood." That's what he's thinking, and she means, "I am trans. I will
I,
not be making a baby
I
tonight."
don't have a uterus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says,
He
"This
needs
feels,"
to go back to, like, 6th grade sex ed.
she says, "This feels more like a first date." And she's hoping that he'll make the first move. So what he does instead is brings out his virtual reality headset to
Oh my
show
god.
her. It's super romantic.
So, shooting zombies.
So he says, "This actually brings us back to how we first started talking, which is we bonded over video games."
Okay,
And
that's kinda cute.
well, at first I was like, "This is what he's done? He's bringing out his
Yeah,
VR headset and making her
yeah,
look like a fool by like,
right.
choo choo." But in the talking head, she says she liked it and she
She
thought she
did,
did a good,
I
yeah,
did. I felt the sa I said, "Okay, I eat my words. Okay,
yeah.
it was a good
He,
idea."
because she liked it. I would have
Mhm.
been like, "I'm not doing that." So it says 1 hour later. So they're going upstairs to where her bedroom is. And talking head, he says, "Things are kind of awkward. And maybe it's because of me. Maybe I don't know I don't know. I just want to take it slow because I've never been with a trans woman before and I need it to be comfortable. But like, she needs to be comfortable. Like, we both need to be comfortable." So she comes out and she's in like a bra and a 90, like a little 90, over it, negligee and lingerie. And they sit awkwardly on the bed, both of them sitting next to each other with their feet out, like, "Wow, so, hmm."
His body language was, like, leaning away from her.
Yeah, it was. And she goes, "Well, I had a great night. And I think it made up for the night before. Like, we had a great night." And he goes, "Yeah, it was. It was really fun." And she says, "So this may be a weird question, but I think we're attracted to each other. Like, we're both attracted to each other." He goes, "Oh, yeah, totally." And she goes, yeah." And he goes, "I hope you don't think that like I'm not attracted because I am attracted to you. But generally I wait for a girl to make a move and like I have to feel wanted. And then like sometimes like if you go in for the kiss and the girl rejects you, then that would like really set me back." And she goes, "Well, we've already kissed." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." So shall we not forget him making the move on the girls on the airplane
I
and at the bar?
I You're so right. That is such a load of crap. Like, he's acting like, "Oh, I'm just a little baby, and if a girl turns me down, I'll never be able to look at another girl in my whole life." And she sees right through it. She's like,
Yeah.
"He's always the flirty initiator. How I don't buy this at all.
Uh-huh.
This is ridiculous."
And he says, "Well, we just have to let it happen when it happens. We just have to wait and see." So, yeah, I'm pretty beat, pretty worn down from this busy day of drinking and fish and chips and ribs and yeah, it's like, big stretch. I'm just gonna go to bed.
But
So
not that kind of stretch of, like, trying to feel up the girl at the movies. It's the
no,
opposite.
mm-mm. Like he said, like, what if we are like kissing and I grab your ass and you reject me? I mean, she's like, well, try it and see what happens. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you mean?
She's wearing the skimpiest
Yes,
nightgown I've ever seen. She's giving you signals.
yes. She's not coming in like a big t-shirt and like sweatpants, you
Yeah.
know? So anyway, I'm pretty tired. I'm just gonna go to bed. And so they get in the bed and they snuggle up, and he kind of leans over and gives her some kisses. She's like, "Mm-hmm." Um,
That's
and her
great,
talk,
thanks.
yeah, talking head. She goes, "Something that I've always known about him that he has always told me is that he really likes PDA, loves to be flirtatious. For him to say now that he has to wait for someone else to make a move on him, I don't buy it." And she's right.
She's right, and that makes me so sad for her, and it makes yeah, we'll get to the preview for next week, but
Mm-hmm.
I have I don't know,
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna start mumbling because I don't even know what to say.
So now we're going to go over to Statler and Dempsey.
Yes.
Yes, that's you.
Oh boy. So they wake up they they wake up in the trailer on the farm, and Statler is so uncomfortable. She was super cold. She's from Texas. She's not used to that cold there.
Yeah,
And she's being not that subtle about how uncomfortable she is. And
she's being an Amanda.
she is. She's so big. Her and Amanda are the Debbie Downers. Yeah. So
Mhm.
she's just like, it's so cold. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting to be this cold. And Dempsey's like tender-hearted and it's like, "It really hurts my feelings. I really want her to love it here."
Yeah.
And so Dempsey starts saging the bad energy away from the house because she's super into saging. She puts a protective shield around herself every day to keep herself positive.
Mhm.
I've been doing the same thing since COVID. And she's saging everything, and then she even starts saging Statler's vagina area. And
Yeah.
she says, "It's been places." And Statler gets kind of offended and she says, and the sage is smoking and she's like crazy. And Dempsey's
Yeah.
like, "Look, even the sage thinks that there's an issue and we have to." And Statler's like, "She's slut shaming my vagina. But I'm proud of my history. It's not an issue for me at all. It seems to be an issue for her." And I think she is. She's self conscious that she's been with so many other people and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So
she's out. I mean, she talks about it a lot, so
she
own it.
talks she loves to talk about it.
Yeah.
So Dempsey is worried that Statler won't like the farm life, and she loves the farm life. She has no plans to leave. She loves the slow pace. And then we learn she's always lived in caravans because her family were carnies.
Carnies, just like Leanne Locken on Real Housewives of Dallas. She was a
There's a
carny.
carny?
She was a
Really?
carny. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mhm.
I was so excited. And they were the ones who put up the rides and everything.
Yeah.
And she had and then we learned such an why did we already had Sheila's mom die, and now we learn that Dempsey had an
So
older sister that
sad.
died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I
I'm gonna look up a Bunky wrote me a DM telling me all about that area, Darlington, and how it's known for its carnies.
really
Yes.
fabulous.
I'm looking it up. Go ahead.
So she's like that traumatized her a lot losing her sister. It's so sad. And then she left home because she was so sad. So she left when she was 18. She moved around. She was never happy. And then her friend Ben let her move onto this farm and work for this company that runs the farm. It's called Kip and Nook, and it is shipping containers turned into rental units like Airbnb. It looks
Yeah.
so adorable. And they now they're, like, still building something on the farm, they're doing all this construction, so Statler's complaining about the noise, like, "Oh, that's so loud. Oh, this place is so small. Oh, there's no
It's
hot
like a
water."
little, like, tiny house nation
It's
neighborhood. Yeah,
adorable.
it's cute.
Like, I
Yeah,
would love to move there, and it's gorgeous, but she's finding something to complain about everything, especially where is she gonna poop. She doesn't understand the pooping situation.
me
Now,
either.
she had wanted to move in there without telling Dempsey. She was
Right.
going to just move right in, and her lease in the States is almost up because this was her plan. But now she's realizing she doesn't really like the trailer, even though it's only been 16 hours. She doesn't know if she's cut out for this farm life.
Yeah, I mean, Dempsey didn't get the trailer ready for her. It's her home.
Right.
She didn't, like, put it to Statler specifications. She didn't know Statler's planning to move in.
Exactly. So, I think the farm is beautiful, and I would love to move there. There's, like,
Me
big
too.
properties, there's, like, hot tubs and, a big common area. So, Dempsey normally gets up at 5:30, she cleans, she does the housekeeping and the cooking for the Airbnbs, and this is so great, and she's a cook? Come on.
And she cooks. This girl is
Ye
perfect.
I mean, Statler, you were eating that hungry man dinner with flair. I'm sure you would love to have a nice home cooked meal. So,
Gross.
the main area is very modern, like a bar, and there's a pool table and old cars inside. It has
Do you
I
think it's like a commune? It's like a commune,
a
right?
little
Like,
bit, but
it's
not
like
in a culty way. I think in a just
communal living.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think when you rent the Airbnb, you can use the facilities to hang
yeah.
out and stuff and get to know people. It's so Statler's vibe, but she's being so underwhelmed by everything.
I
She's like,
know.
"Yeah, it's cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's so cool. What's wrong with you?" I think her awkwardness comes across as bitchy
Yes,
and
she
it's
does just a lot of,
aloof.
like, dead staring.
Yes,
Yeah,
and, like, aloofness, like she's not impressed or doesn't care, but she really does. But if you don't know her, I think it comes across not in a great way. So, they meet Ben there, who is Dempsey's best friend who owns the company, and he really needs to give his stamp of approval on Statler. So, Statler should be amping up the charm, but she's not, and so
she's like, "Is there a bathroom in here that flushes? Because I really have to
exactly,
poop." Yeah.
exactly. And, she's just like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, you're Ben, whatever. I'm cool."
Ben was pretty cute.
Ben's adorable.
Yeah.
Um, so he asks how they met, and she says, "On a dating app, Statler likes British girls." See, now is she a sex tourist? Like, I love British guys. Am I a sex tourist if I start going on British apps?
Um, I think that the issue with the sex tourism is trying to
Is
find somebody who's, well below the poverty line that will think that you're wonderful,
I gotcha. So you can
and
come in with your white savior energy and
yes. Yeah.
gotcha, buy them.
Yes. By their
So
love. Yes.
So, they start laughing that they've already been intimate, and Dempsey is blushing, and Ben says, "Well, she does seem really happy. I haven't seen her
Mhm.
this happy before." But they are very different. They're like chalk and cheese. I don't like that expression. I've heard it many times. I don't get why chalk and cheese are opposites. Like there are many other things that are opposites that you could have picked. Why chalk and
I
cheese?
don't chalk and cheese just sounds good together because of the "cha,"
The
but
cha.
no, it doesn't really make sense.
No. So he asks about Thailand, and he kind of unintentionally pokes the bear and pokes Statler's insecurity and says, "Did she keep in touch with you while she was in Thailand?" And then it turns into, "No, actually, communication wasn't great when she was in Thailand." And so Statler is starting to spiral that Dempsey was cheating in Thailand because she, you know, wasn't in contact with her. I don't know if you'd even call it cheating if they w were they had they decided they were not seeing other people?
I guess so,
I
because
guess.
later on when they keep talking about it, it seems like they say
Yeah,
cheating a
they say
lot, so
cheating. So, I wish she was just warmed up her personality a tiny bit for Ben, because
yeah,
Ben doesn't seem that hard to please, and she could have been pleasant and it could have gone better, but okay, that's her
yeah.
awkwardness, it's fine. So Uh, Dempsey is cooking dinner for her, and Statler doesn't know what she's doing. Dempsey dares her to eat a clove of garlic, and Statler almost dies. And
She bites a
she
clove of garlic, and
she
by the way, Dempsey had the correct equipment, unlike Jasmine.
there was that was a great peeler too. It was like
Mm,
butter going through that carrot.
yeah,
Gino would
yeah,
have loved that.
yeah.
So she eats this clove of garlic, and like it's disgusting, and she's spitting and drinking water from the faucet and trying to put soap in her mouth, and Dempsey is like dying laughing. So they're very cute. It's
She's like,
kind of
"What did you think was gonna happen? You bit into a clove of garlic."
yeah. The subtitle said Dempsey is laughing maniacally,
Ah!
like she's in a murderous rage. So Statler finally brings up that she was worried when she didn't hear from Dempsey in Thailand and kind of thought she was cheating. And Dempsey is a little offended and says, "No, absolutely, I'm not a cheater. It never would even occur to me. I had told you that I wasn't going to be in close contact with you because I didn't have Wi-Fi there and the hours are all different. And, why would you think that? Have you cheated on someone?" And Statler says, "I have once, and I've also
Mhm.
been cheated on." And so
Yeah,
now Dempsey's like, "That's a red flag that she's cheated, and she doesn't trust me and thinks that I cheated. That's not good." And then Statler says, "I feel like I've been cheated on and I was adopted, and so I have these issues and I'm putting my past into this relationship, and I'm embarrassed that I'm not as healed as I should be from the past," which I thought
yeah,
was very sad.
yeah,
And Dempsey reassures her that she is loyal and really into Statler and she's not going to cheat. And it was very cute.
yeah, and they hug, and it was very sweet, and Dempsey had on a very cool shirt.
Yeah,
I wonder, though,
they
if
both have
Dempsey
very
just
cool style.
yeah, if Dempsey just works on the, farm, on the communal living place, she works for the guy, she helps design the places, and then she gets her vegetables, whatever. If Statler moves there, what does she think her job will be? Will she go out into Darlington to get a regular job? Is she gonna be in HR or what? I mean,
She does love bugs. Is there anything with bugs she could do? Like lead the tours on, insects? Like
yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I think she's currently, like doesn't she in, like, HR for a shipping company or something? I
oh,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah, you're right, she works from home on the computer.
Yeah.
You would think she'd love to be outside and run around.
Mm-mm.
It's
She's a real
just
Debbie
cold for
Downer.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she could find something there. I'm sure she's can do
Yeah.
something. I think it
Yeah.
could be really sweet. I'm rooting for them. She just needs to get her act together.
Yeah. It's funny too, they have a couple of their hero shots where, Dempsey is in, like, a full suit, and then Statler's in, like, a casual outfit, and they're, like, in a field. I was like, "Why is Dempsey in a suit in a field? This is weird."
They're like, "We're mismatched.
Yeah.
We're opposites attract. We're the odd couple."
I like to put on my business casual and stand in a field.
Uh-huh.
Um, so we didn't get Misha, Amanda, or Tyree, but looks like we're getting them
I
all
needed
next
a
week.
break from all of those
Yeah.
people. I was fine with that.
Yes, guys, you don't have to continue to send the picture of Misha and Nicola in the Mall of America. We have seen it.
How bummed were
How?
you?
What? I'm bummed. I'm bummed. I
I'm
wanted her to
bummed
come to
for
her
her.
senses.
I'm bummed for her daughters if they have to now deal with him. Like,
Yeah. My understanding
I'm
is though she's
bummed
a
for all of
real
Minnesota.
yeah, I think she's a real wackadoo from what I've heard.
That
Rumblings that she's just real wacky.
that makes sense. I mean,
Um,
she has terrible taste in this man.
she sure does. So
That shouldn't affect the children.
next time on Before the 90 Days, Gino and Jasmine get kinky. And that's all I have to say about that. Um, Misha talks to Nicola and says, like, I didn't like the way, things went last night. And he says, "What do you want me to do, Misha?" And she was like, "He's not listening. He doesn't care, but I'm still going to take him to the Mall of America." Um, Amanda meets Rosvin's friend, that chick who we met before.
Yeah,
And the
except
chick
she's in a
says,
bikini this time.
I wonder if Amanda is wearing the bikini she picked out. And the chick says, "Do you love him or are you just like attached to him?" And Amanda says she's in love with Rosvin. And the Brit says, "When I look in your eyes and then I look in his eyes, it's like I love you, but I want to kill you, like a toxic relationship." It's like, wow,
Say it like it
wow,
is.
wow. Well, she's not wrong. Um,
No.
Statler meets Dempsey's dad, who, if we hear one more time, is her best friend.
She's
We
very close to her best friend.
very close to her best friend slash her dad. And he says, "So, have you been to England before?" And Dempsey laughs and says, "No, she has a thing for English girls." And she says, "Yes, this is the second time I've come to England for a girl." And dad says, "Alarm bells. These two need to
Mhm.
slow down." He's right.
Mhm.
He's right. Only one of them needs to slow down, though.
Yeah.
Cleo cries to, seems to be a friend in the street, I guess, and says, "What the fuck was I thinking?" And then in her talking head, she says, "For him to lie about our intimacy, I feel like I've been manipulated. There is
What
a very slim chance of this working out." So what did he lie about?
what happened?
He said they
Did
were
he
sexually
said they did
intimate,
it?
and he
And they
says,
I don't know.
or vice
Who did he
versa.
say it to?
Right. Like vice versa. Did he say that they didn't do anything, but they have? And then she
Right.
feels like,
Oh, right. Yeah,
yeah,
either
either,
way is bad.
why are we talking about it anyway? It's private. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. He is
Anyway,
such
she's
a
not happy.
tool.
She
No.
says she feels stupid. She's crying to her friend. And we don't want to see that. We want the
No.
best for Cleo. And Tyree says the real Carmela says she would be open to meeting him. And mom says, "But maybe she's in cahoots with this guy." He says, "Maybe, but meeting her could also give me some closure." So where's he flying to? He's flying, but the real Carmela lives in the Tri County area.
I know. I can't I don't really understand who the real Carmela is still. Like, which one does he
Right.
consider? Is it the one in the photos or the
Uh
one that
huh.
he was writing to?
The person
Or
he's talking to. Yeah.
the like, so that person, yeah, the phone calls, I don't understand.
I don't either.
I don't think he
I
understands. I think the show is just excited he's going on a plane.
Well, production's like, we had to do a real 180 with this guy.
Yeah.
It's like we had to really change our
Mhm.
plotting and planning when this guy came along.
Well, they could have just dropped it, but,
Yeah,
like, they've done that before, like, "It's a catfish, we're dropping it," and then, that you get, like, 2 episodes of them and then they're done. But
yeah.
they're Yolanda-ing this catfishing story for the whole season.
Oh my God. Well, that's it. That's the show. And I am tired. I have talked about 90 Day for 4 hours today. And that is too long. That is too
I
much.
understand, I understand.
That is too much. What's happening over on A Date with Dateline? Tell me about the
Um,
frogging episode you're doing.
no, we did a frogging episode last week. This week, we're doing a Dateline, a regular old Dateline episode.
Okay. Is it one that has been on, or do we have to find it on Peacock?
You have to find it on Peacock, and it's called Secrets of Cottonwood Creek.
Secrets.
Secrets of Cottonwood
Okay.
Creek.
And so if someone would just go to your Instagram at Dateline, that is when you say the episode and the season and the episode so you can find it on Peacock?
Yeah, although I don't
Okay.
usually do that ahead of time. I should, but
Oh. Oh, yeah, people would like to know what to watch.
yeah, you're right. I don't know why I'm making it a surprise. I'll put
Surprise!
people do get annoyed. They're like, "I wanna watch it first. Can you tell us?" "Oh,
Yeah, maybe
yeah."
just tell them the day before.
Yeah,
Just the day before. Your episodes come out on Wednesday, so just let everybody know. Tuesday, I'm gonna let you know.
you're right. I will. I'm
Yeah.
going to.
I'm glad you're taking that note.
Thank you. Thank you for the note.
I'm full of notes. I told Amy Archer earlier today, I was like, "You know what I think you should do with your logo?" She was like, because she has the cutest logo for Little Miss Recap. It's that little
Yeah.
girl,
Uh-huh.
and then she changes the little girl for the different shows she's doing. Like, so for Yellowstone, it has a cowboy hat.
Oh, that's cute.
So they're doing a rewatch of Yellow Jackets, and so she's got it with antlers on it, but she has bees flying around. But I told her the face, she's got the eyes like cross-eyed, so it looks like a cartoon where somebody gets knocked out and they
Uh-huh.
have like the birds
Oh,
going around in a circle. And,
yeah.
and then the eyes are crossed. That's like it needs to be a person staring angrily at the
Yeah.
camera, like they're evil,
Yeah.
possibly with a soccer jersey on.
Yes, that's
And she
great.
was like, "I don't need your notes." I was like, "That's my note."
Tell her I second the
Yeah, I
the
know.
note. Or
I
with
don't
the
know what.
gauze over it, like that, like, gauzy thing
Mm,
that comes over the antlers,
yeah. See,
covering the
you have a note
face.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have a note too.
yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't like the cross eye because it made it look like it was wacky instead of
Right.
like serious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. But that's
Brandy
a
Howard
really
says
cute
that.
idea.
Yeah. Brandy says that on Dumb Gay Politics. She says, "I don't need your notes, hun." I don't need your notes. Yeah. When listeners write in with things they should do different, she's like, I don't need your notes. I think they made t-shirts. Yeah.
That's gonna be my new response.
I don't need your notes. Yeah. Well, everybody, make sure to follow us over on Pink Shade Pod. And later this week, I will have Ben and Ronnie on from Watch What Crappens to talk about what's happening on Bravo this week. I'm very excited to get their hot takes. And Ben did a live this week, and I just happened to be looking at my phone, and he was like doing Instagram Live. And so I went on. I was like, "Hey, Ben," and he was like, "Oh," he's like, "Mary Payne from Pink Shade. I think I'm supposed to go on your podcast soon." I was like, "This week." He's like,
Don't
"Okay."
forget.
He's like,
I'm
"I'll consult my
so
calendar."
jealous.
Yeah. You could reach out. They're
No,
great guys. They're just totally normal, easy to talk to guys. They really are.
I listen to them so much. They're like
I
part
know.
of my mental health routine.
Yeah. It's like me with Karen and Georgia. I'll put Karen and Georgia on of My Favorite Murder to like take a nap, just to like because I their voices are very soothing to me.
I gotcha.
Ben and Ronnie, I end up laughing too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It always makes me feel good.
Well, they're on Thursday, so everybody get ready for that. And over on Supercast and Patreon, I am covering 90 Day UK with Kimberly's partner over at Date with Dateline, Katie. We're covering 90 Day UK and on the $10 level. And on the $5 level, as always, I'm with Amy Archer. We are covering Temptation Island and we are covering 90 Days the Other Way. Another 2-hour show that I'm just about to just
But you're
hurl myself off a
definitely
bridge.
not doing
Yes.
last resort.
100%, no one's doing the last resort. We're not doing it. Reality gays are not doing it. Cray Cray is not doing it. We're not
Good.
doing it.
Take a stand against Big
Taking a stand.
Ed. Yeah,
We are.
good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Amy has tried to sort of say, like, maybe we should just talk. I was like, I'm not. I'm not talking about it.
Yeah,
I've got 3 90-day shows I'm covering. I don't
yeah.
need to add another one. I don't care what happens to any of those people.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And the fact that they had the audacity to try to make their logo look like the White Lotus is blasphemy. How dare?
Oh my god, and
Unless somebody
Angela
is dead at the end, I don't want to know about this.
No,
No.
I hope so. Can I
I
say
mean,
that? I hope so.
no, you can't.
I
No, we
can't
don't
say
hope
that.
anybody dies.
No,
No.
I don't hope anyone dies. But Angela looking so seriously in the ocean breeze, I can't. Like, it's a glamour shot. I can't.
Mm-mm. Not gonna do it.
No.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Guys, love you guys. And Kimberly, I will talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.